Hello, welcome to Nuggets for Life. My name is Peter Müller and I have created this video series to share with you some ideas and concepts that can change your life. Let's get on with it. Today we talk about nugget number 6, procrastination. Procrastination is a habit and a pattern of thinking. Procrastination is something we do deliberately. It is a conscious decision to postpone something until later. In the time management context, when you looked at nugget number 1, it is a typical move into quadrants 3 and 4. A move into the perceived urgent but not important. Now, what does this postponement on a continuous basis do to the people who continuously postpone? It leads to anxiety, stress, crisis, and ultimately to failure. And what is the problem with procrastinators? The number one problem is they cannot focus, they cannot hold the focus on something for a longer period of time. When they are at work, in an office for example, they butterfly from one task to the next. When they learn for exams, they cannot spend 1, 2, 3 hours on a subject matter to get the learning really into their heads. Another factor for those procrastinators is they are not good decision makers. They don't make decisions. They always weigh in alternative here, alternative there. Let's do a little bit more research. Let's ask for more information. All in the attempt not to take a decision and make a commitment to move on. Because making the first step is the problem of the procrastinator. And they don't like rules and structure either. They always look for shortcuts. They actually spend more time spending on finding shortcuts than actually do the work to get the results they want. And the procrastination patterns are basically 4. The first and most important one is the fear pattern and the fear of failure. Quite simple. It is the fear of failure. Number 2, fun procrastination. Yes, another Netflix, another TV game, another GameCube game, another important distraction on the cell phone, another important instant notification. Yes, that's where they go. And they have no sense of urgency. They have actually a wrong perception on how long it takes to achieve what they want. That's why they move it to the very end and then they realize they don't have enough to do it and then they make a mediocre or lousy job or ultimately fail. And another form of procrastination is the perfectionist procrastination. They have this perfect final result. And from where they are, they look at it and it is overwhelming. And then they are not willing to take really the first step. It's like they stand on a crosswalk, the light turns green, everybody's walking and they continue to stand and don't make the first step. Now, psychologically, they share some of the symptoms with some other psychological and cognitive disorders. For example, they share symptoms with people who suffer with problems in the executive function, so executive dysfunction. They share symptoms with people having ADD or ADHD, anxiety disorders, depression, sleep disorders, and stress are common. Now, how does it actually work? The procrastinator, as all of us, we face a situation in the status quo and we want to have a new situation. So normally it works the way our values and goals and our beliefs, they act as filter to assess reality. We see a discrepancy between that what we want, our expectation, and that what we have. And then we identify the issues, we make plans and we act and we actually achieve results. But the procrastinator doesn't get there. It is somewhere hung up in the identifications. They don't develop plans and they don't act because they simply postpone and go to the escape activities into quadrant 3. The computer gaming, whatever the pleasing part is. Now, when they share symptoms with certain psychological disorders. For those who suffer from ADD or ADHD, they have 3 key symptoms: distractibility, impulsivity, and restlessness. And the procrastinator shares it with them. On a little broader basis, people who suffer from executive function, they have something on top of it. They don't make the first step. They cannot hold sustained attention to something, so they cannot hold focus, and they have problem with impulse control. There are impulses and emotions. They move them mentally and physically from one place to the other and butterfly around and never make any kind of progress. The problem is those procrastinators, they pay a high emotional price for the procrastination, ending up in anxiety, depression, resentment, despair, and last but not least, in diminished self-confidence. What can the procrastinator do? Here is the 7-step program. Number 1, watch this video 5 times and take copious notes. Please do it. Pay attention, hold the attention, take notes, let it sink in. Number 2, make a time log for 1 week. Every day, every hour, you write down what you have done and accomplished in this hour. Or maybe even better, every half hour. You will be surprised where you end up with. Number 3, based on the time log, look at your most prominent 3 procrastination patterns and make a commitment to handle them in the future. So the first thing you do is step number 4, you identify the triggers for procrastination. It's people, places, things. It's the situations where you are, which movie runs, whether you're in front of the computer, in the TV, in the office, in front of the email, whatever the situation is. These are always specific triggers which are there. And you simply have to make a plan to identify the triggers and systematically removing them. Number 5, develop a power move. Whenever you find yourself in a procrastination pattern, do something like yes, or no, or let's go, or oh my God, whatever it is. Something strong physically, ideally a hand gesture with some voice to snap you out of the pattern, to give your brain a chance to interrupt the mental pattern of procrastination, and that you can refocus on something really important. Which brings me to number 6. Develop powerful, inspiring long-term goals. Because once you break the pattern, you have to go somewhere. And then you need long-term goals where you focus your attention to achieve the significant results you want in life. So powerful goals are an absolute must, because otherwise, besides procrastination, you have nothing else to do. If you don't have any long-term inspiring goals, when you go out of procrastination, what the hell I'm gonna do? You continue, go back to quadrant 3, and that's the end of the story. So step 6, very important. Number 7, develop a daily plan. Make a commitment to yourself to at least 3-4 definite, achievable, with closure goals for the next day. And that is gonna work, believe me. That's it for nugget number 6. Hopefully see you soon for nugget number 7.